I've been a cowboy as long as I can remember. It wasn't until they brought the cameras that they started calling me actor. Since 1903, the cowboy has appeared on the silver screen. The same grit and reliability that works for us on set is what we depend on every day. Products that are tough. After all, this is our legacy.
Back in the UWS studio at the 2025 Run for a Million, and we're joined by none other than the defending champion, Jason Vanlandingham. Jason, welcome back.
Man, it's good to be here.
It's great to have you here just for no other reason than to relive your winning run last year on the Great Gonna Be Big Time. You were 229. You got to know that horse that's kind of par for him. Like, that's in him. But to go in there and do it, like, how did you feel leading up to it and while you were showing him?
Yeah, so that horse, he's a special show horse. Like, he's one of those that can really rise up to the moment. I don't know that I've ever had anything that's any easier. You know, you just go out and keep your hand in the middle, and he stays between there, and he goes fast, and he slows down and never tries to take a step ahead of you. And man, can that thing run and stop. And last year, it actually kind of worked out in his favor a little bit because they had toughened the ground up a little bit for the cow horse right before we went in. And I know a lot of people struggled on that run in stop, and he just went in there and dug right through it and showed his heart. So, man, he's an impressive horse, and I love throwing a leg over him.
What do you think it is about your training philosophy, your coaching approach, whatever you want to call it? Other riders, and I'm not being critical here, but you'll see them peak horses, certain times they'll regress a little bit, just like horses do at the racetrack. But when you get horses that fit you, you seem to be able to maintain those horses at a really high level over years. I mean, you've done it with, I can name off 5 of them here, but is there something about the way you school or plan your show season that adds to that?
Well, first and foremost, I think the good Lord just blessed me with horses that can do that, because it does take a special mind. It takes a special horse on their physical abilities. But for me, whenever I get them where I want them, I don't try to maintain them there all the time. They know how to run and stop. They know how to turn around. So I do things to keep them legged up. I mean, my routine on these older horses is 15, 20 minutes, but that kind of carries over from my futurity program coming up. I mean, I don't ride the hair off of them. I build something every day, and I try to keep them to where they like their job. And I think for that 7, 8-year-old year, when in their 3. And so these horses I've had for a long time, and so they know me inside and out, and I'm not going to trick them anywhere. I just keep them liking their job, and then they go out and do their thing for me. Well,
it's clearly working for you. For me as a fan, the rivalry, the Great Horse Patriot, and you had with the Vintage Smoke, just back and forth, Coach Hamp's first, second, that went on for years. And to me, that's the kind of thing that really builds a fan base in our sport, is being able to see those great horses come back and knock heads time and time again. Was that fun, or did you get tired of that red horse?
You know, that horse was a challenge, without a doubt. And I would have liked to, you know, we retired a Vintage Smoke as the end of his 6-year-old year, and coming back as a 7-year-old. I mean, I feel like we missed so much, because that was whenever they first broke it out to where we could show 7-year-olds in the derbies. And so there was that. And then Nathan wins the million on Patriot here as a 7-year-old. And I was thinking, man, I wish I had that black horse here. But that was the beginning of Best Shine. So, I mean, obviously I had Best Shine all the way through from the time he was a yearling up. But that horse came in, and I went right after Nathan that year on him. And I heard that big 230, whatever it was, score. And I blew his doors off running. I missed my first stop. And then I'm pressing hard on my first turn, and I have a huge overturn. And I'm like, what in the world? So I just settle in and go from there. And he ones or 1.5, so everything the rest of the way through, and still marks a 231 after blowing his first 2 maneuvers. And I thought, man, I've got something special here. And then he comes back the next year and wins it. And so really that rivalry, even though I didn't get to finish it out like I wanted to with Patriot, a Vintage Smoke is still, one of the greatest horses ever to step foot in an arena. But it really helped me start building the next big time horse for me.
Yeah, so let's talk about him. I mean, Best Shine's been a great horse for you all along. To me, that horse baffles me because honestly, Jason, I've seen your daughter warm him up in the warm-up pen. He looks like a lesson horse.
Yeah.
And then you dial him in a little bit. Doesn't seem like you do anything but touch him up, and he goes in there and he is locked in. Has he always had that mindset?
Yeah, so as a 3-year-old, I couldn't show him as hard as I wanted to because he was a little bit more of a wiggly type horse, and I've always had the idea that my horses need to be perfect all the time. You know, I'm a really mentally focused type rider, and so I can kind of dial them in exactly where I want them. And he taught me that horses don't have to be in the exact position that I want them to be to still be special. And whenever I was trying to keep that perfect arc in him all the time, you know, I was having some wiggly problems in him. And whenever I let him just line out and kind of get a little deeper in his shoulder running around there, that's whenever he locked in and got super, super special and got super easy to show. And now I don't have to do anything. You know, I just sit up there and ride and let him do his thing. So I've learned a lot. I mean, if you're not learning on these special horses, you're missing out on a huge opportunity because all these really good ones can teach you a lot about training the horse.
That's so true. They are the best teachers. I know you don't look at the competition because every year here it's Murderer's Row. I'm looking at that draw this year. I'm like, great one, great one, great one. What do? You know, you focus on your own horse, your own task, but what's your prep look like getting ready for Saturday night? Nobody's won more at this event than you have, so yeah. How do you approach it now?
You know, really, I've done it where I've run over the top of them, like I said on Best Shine, those first 2 maneuvers, and now my goal is to have them peaked out, but to stay out of their way and not overdo it. Because if you look back at the champions on this deal, it's always been the person who made no mistakes. Because like you said, every horse is great and they can all won all their maneuvers and some of them 1.5 their maneuvers. So if you stay out of the penalty box, you're not running over the top of your horse to make them look sloppy, get them scared, scrambling around in the fast ground, then you have a chance to win. And, you know, Lord willing, we'll have another shot this year.
I don't dislike your chances at all. And as our good friend Nathan Piper once said, you know, in these things, he goes, everybody's doing the same thing. You got to think of some way to stand out.
Yeah.
And, you know, you found that way to get those great horses just a nose ahead of the others time and time again here. Jason Vanlandingham, congrats on last year. Best of luck this year. I know the fans are geeked about this one. It should be a bowl game environment Saturday night.
Yeah, it always is here. It's a special place to go show a horse.
I love it. Jason Vanlandingham won it all last year. Pretty good chance he could do it again this year. We're going to find out Saturday night. This is Steve Ross from the UWS News Studio at the 2025 Run for a Million.